So I've been working on a TV series for the BBC called Mafia, written by James Watkins and Hossamini, starring James Norton. And I've been playing his fiancée, and it's all about the kind of global corporate takeover of power and the global mafia that now seems to be running the world as we know it. So it's a really interesting series that just aired, and they've just announced a second season for that. I don't think there's anything more important than having a peace day. I think it's a no-brainer, Jeremy. I think it's possibly the most important thing that we could actually be working towards. I love the fact that from the very beginning of this, your idea to have a day of peace, one calendar day that is specifically about cessation of violence, non-violence, a day of people coming together and actually thinking about what it means to be peaceful and compassionate in the world. And the idea that if you can do that for one day, it makes it possible that the idea that 365 days isn't impossible. That's amazing, that's crucial, and it's necessary and essential. I think sometimes we think of peace as a huge idea that's way away from us and it's impossible to reach. But actually it's about the microcosm within the macrocosm, the human family, the little tiny family and the larger global family. And so for me it's that. It's how do we get through moments of conflict where we disagree about things, can't see the other person's point of view, and find a way to kind of breathe, find a bit of compassion and work our way through that. From being very little, I've always had this sort of idealistic kind of belief that if you just sort of optimistically say, I think this should happen, and you gather a few people with you and stand and do something, that actually you can affect some level of change. That's always really excited me. I remember I had a gang called the Get Help Gang, and we used to chain ourselves to trees and stop the council from coming and chopping them down in the street, and it worked. So little sort of things like that along the way, you think actually it's not as difficult as you might think it is. You have an idea and step out into the world and say, come on, if we all join together and collectively do this, we can actually do something that is radical in its simplicity. And that's really exciting. I think it's just compassion. I think it's really easy. I find it all the time in my own life where I get envious of someone else or jealous of something or angry that something's being done in a way that I don't think is right or should be. And who am I to sort of judge what's right or wrong? So I think the biggest thing about really being an actor is you get to stand in someone else's shoes, you get to say someone else's words and wear someone else's clothes. And actually someone that I might not have any understanding of, suddenly I'm speaking like them and thinking, oh, I get it. I get why this person thinks this. And when you play a character, you know, on stage for 6 months, you gain a greater understanding and empathy of what it feels like to be in their shoes. So I think compassion, empathy, those are the two things that evade me the most and that I strive for the most.